Hello, everybody. Welcome to Frame by Frame. I'm Gleidson Martins.
And I'm Marco Cerritos.
Marco, I'm so excited to be back talking about movies and TV shows, streaming services, because I love doing this.
I love movies in general, so I love marrying my love of movies with my love of just talking about movies, so it's a perfect combination.
First things first. So Marco talked to a filmmaker, Masha. She's from Oakland. She lives in Oakland. She's from Ukraine. She just did a couple movies, animation. She works for Pixar. Let's watch it.
Great. Welcome, Masha.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What brought you to animation?
I remember watching cartoons. Like that was my probably first memory. And I grew up in Ukraine. I was born and grew up in Ukraine. And interestingly enough, which was at the time was USSR, but I do remember a cartoon about a lamp jumping. Like I have that memory back from like when I was very little, and it took me many, many years to realize like, oh, that was a Pixar lamp. So
that was Lexo.
Yeah, back in the day, I had that memory of watching cartoons. Loved Saturday morning cartoons,
Of course.
Tom and Jerry, and to be honest, any cartoon.
Did you have a specific type of animation that you gravitated towards more?
I would have to say it's more of a genre. I loved like comedy. Loved anything that could teach me about a culture without me having to know the language. Again, I was consuming a lot of different types of cartoons from all over the world, and sometimes we didn't have subtitles,
Yes.
or it wasn't dubbed. So anything you could understand, human stories or funny stories, I love that.
Yeah, stories
Something
that
fresh.
travel well, obviously, that are more visually based.
Yeah.
So you're right. If it doesn't have subtitles, you can still understand what's going on based on what you're seeing visually.
Yeah.
Which brings us to your body of work.
Yeah.
I know you've made a few projects so far, but again, with beginnings, your first project compared to what you're talking about today, that journey, how hard or easy has it been for you, and what do you want our viewers to kind of take from your journey as an animator?
It took me a while to maybe gain confidence or even have an idea that I can create a whole film. It took me probably 10 years of working on animated films, being part of the crew, actually watching firsthand how animation is created. Before I got this feeling that, I have a story to tell, I have something to say.
Yes.
And it started with that idea, with that feeling. And it was hard to deny, or like it was just like the idea wanted to get out of me, and I was I had an idea for my first film, Little T.
Yes.
And I didn't know that it would be an animated film. I just had an idea that I wanted to share with the audience. But then it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, I've been working in an animation for 10 years. I think maybe that's how I want to create this story, or how I want to tell this story. But yeah, it took a while to get there. To gain the perspective of like, I can do this. Yeah.
Little T I like a lot because it's a very universal story. I'll give my side of what I took away from it as an audience member, but to me, Little T travels very well because it deals with our own personal feelings, the struggles that we always have inside our own heads. Am I good enough? Is this bad enough? What can we do to better ourselves? But as an animator, what are some of the things that you brought to it before putting it to screen?
Yeah, I was almost struggling with my own personal critic at that point. And it wasn't in a direct way. Like I felt like, someone's in my head telling me I can't do something.
Someone's always in my head.
But there was a lot of doubt. Like I was thinking, how do I, for the next step in my career, like what do I pursue? Do I maybe become a better painter? Should I do more tool developments for animation? Like I was at the crossroads and I felt doubt. So it wasn't like someone was there telling me I can't do it. It came across as being not sure about myself, feeling of being afraid to fail. And I was, like I tell this story a lot. I was at Panda Express getting orange chicken, and I got a fortune cookie. And like at that time, I was like very just stirring in the sea of indecision. As,
Do I order
hot.
this or that?
Yeah. Well, about my career, and then like I opened this fortune cookie, and it says, "Silence the critic within."
Oh.
And I've never gotten such a profound fortune cookie message.
Right.
More than that at that time. And it dawned on me, I'm like, oh, this indecision, I think it comes from the critical part of me. And so I wanted to research, what is this inner critic? How did I get one? And like, how do I get rid of it?
Right.
So I started to research psychology, theories that explain it and whatnot. And at the end of this deep dive, I was like, oh, I have a story to tell. I want to share it, what I have found. And yeah, that's how.
You must have framed that fortune cookie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, I don't know if you did or not, but I definitely would have.
Yes.
It's like, if this is a sign, this is going to stay with me. Masha, so on top of being a filmmaker, you are also an animator at Pixar. Talk to us about that and just the everyday, just day-to-day that you have working there.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's interesting how people think I'm an animator at Pixar. That is, that's fine. We make animated films, and I'm a technical director, which is a fancy way of saying I'm a digital artist that creates the puppets, or like the characters that animators animate. My day-to-day is working on characters. So I have recently finished working on Toy Story 5.
Oh, wow.
The next animated feature that Pixar is releasing this June, and it's sort of the next chapter in that universe. It's been a very rewarding experience to dive back to Toy Story and work on the characters. I had a pleasure of working on Toy Story 3. And yeah, my day-to-day is working on characters, and sometimes it's placing like one eyelash at a time, putting every freckle where it needs to be. So a lot of love and care goes into the characters. And for some of the main characters, it can be like a year of working on that character for a small group of people. So it's a very detail-oriented job, and it's very collaborative.
As your job, what are some of the things that you try and look for in your directors to feel more comfortable in your own working space?
Yeah, I think when working with any director, providing maybe different options is always a good idea. Sometimes you can describe a concept, but it's all visual medium. So giving options is always what I go for.
Well, thank you, Masha. I'm really excited to see Toy Story 5. That looks really good. Masha, where can people find more of your work online?
Great question. I have a YouTube channel, and if you search Masha Makes Movies on YouTube, you can find my personal animated works, and I always keep it updated and hopefully put more of things that I do on there.
SFFILM has released the lineup for its 69th annual festival, set to run from April 24th through May 4th in San Francisco, with some screenings in Berkeley and Oakland.
This is an 11-day film festival that features over 100 films from 40 countries. We have 79 unique programs. We're going to be at the Grand Lake, at the Castro, at the Marina Theater, at the Premier Theater at ILM, at SF MoMA, at BMPFA in Berkeley, and we have films in competition across the board. We have special events. We're starting off with a double feature at the Castro. We have a sold-out back-to-back screening of Boots Riley's I Love Boosters. We end back at the Castro with a retrospective screening of Star Wars The Emperor Strikes Back. We have incredible Discovery titles from across the globe, as well as returning and beloved filmmakers that are known names, and we can't wait to see you on the ground.
Have you seen Vladimir with Leo Woodhall?
No, not yet. Is it, which streaming service is it
It's on Netflix.
I see.
It's a must-see TV shows, in my opinion. There are only 8 episodes. I watched in 2 days, 4 back-to-back. It's incredible. It's a drama, a dark drama. There's a twist at the end. Rachel Weisz and Leo, I think they're incredible. She's a professor. and she falls for
A
for her
twist.
colleague, a young professor, Leo.
Leo, right?
I'm calling Leo so intimate right now. So, that's how it becomes. And then there's a sex scandal involving Rachel's character, which it doesn't have a name, which is interesting. 'Cause
unnamed
at
in
the
the
end
show.
of the show, I was like, what's her name? And then I have to Google, it's unknown.
Okay.
So, which is
Is she credited as just woman or
just like unknown.
Okay.
Like a professor,
I see.
like a wife, and I don't want to be a spoiler, but the husband, they have an agreement, an open relationship, which is unusual especially for a straight couple.
Sure.
I'm not saying they don't exist, but it's unusual. But there is a bunch of sex scandals involving her husband. So I'm going to stop here talking about Vladimir, but it's a must-see series streaming on Netflix.
And now I want to talk about my movie review for today's episode. The film I want to focus on is the AI doc. It is exactly what it sounds like. It is a documentary about AI, the questions surrounding AI, where it's going, what can we do about it, is it friendly or unfriendly? And everything I just described and then some is covered in a very brief feature length. It's something that played at Sundance, that I was able to see at Sundance. And for us living here in the tech-based Bay Area, it's, it's something that we do think about a lot, but at the same time feels weird that we don't think about it enough.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think that it opens in limited release on the 27th, March 27th, and it will slowly expand to other theaters right after that. So, like I said, for us being in this area, for us doing what we do, film-based, tech-based, it's a scary thing to think about, but at the same time, it shouldn't be, because those questions are answered. Like I said, where are we going with this? Is it something that we can cohabitate with, and if so, in what ways? But
I wonder how they will portray that, how close it will be to reality.
we've already started playing with those kinds of questions. Yeah. And, what we've already been able to do is nothing compared to what we can do and where it's going. But again, basically the documentary covers that and then some by interviewing some of the biggest names behind the AI movement, founders of companies, filmmakers, artists in general, their takes on AI. Do they see it as a positive or a negative? Why or why not? Mm-hmm. And I think, again, tech-based Bay Area, we kind of take the tech in this area for granted sometimes, but this is a very interesting wake-up call.
Interesting. Well, I'm looking forward to see it.
Yes.
I'm not, as you were saying this, I was thinking about myself, like, I'm not really into tech movies.
You say that as you're holding an iPhone.
I know,
yeah.
I know. Here's the thing. As you said it, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about this.
Right. We just take it for granted,
yeah,
right?
we do. We do.
We play with our phones. We start up our cars. And, cars weren't meant to be tech-based, but now they pretty much are.
Oh, yeah. They're almost talking to you.
Yeah. No, in some cases, they are talking to you. So, yeah, we cohabitate with a lot of technology that, at its inception was a little scary, and now it's not so much. The first iPhone was scary to a lot of people, mm-hmm. and now it's just, we don't give it a second thought. We turn it on. We actually rely on our phones for so much of our lives, but it's smart this, smart that. We're in a studio now, but we have smart studios, smart homes, mm-hmm. Smart, driverless cars.
Yeah.
So this is like a small piece of what the doc talks about.
Wow, interesting, fascinating,
yes.
Scary.
Yes, all in one, and then some, that's right.
Yeah, it is scary. If you're watching us online, don't forget now we are on cable, Comcast Cable 198, and also on antenna, channel 22, and also channel 60. Don't forget to follow us. I am on Instagram at dmartinstv, so I'll see you there.
I am not on Instagram, but I still am on Twitter/X. My handle there is Big Dumb Male.
I can't believe you're not on Instagram.
It's a long story. There's way too much drama on Instagram for me, but I'm saying that as I'm still on Twitter/X, which has its equal share of dramas. Yes, this is Frame by Frame. Thank you for tuning in.
We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.